Guided by the Sun, Guidé par le Soleil, Energy Solutions for Earth and Beyond. Over the years, my students have taken up a variety of space-themed energy challenges, like utilizing coding and automation to build energy-efficient space colonies. In the past, we've had funding from Inside Education's A+ for Energy. During the 2021 school year, I was deployed to distance learning, and the Alberta Emerald Foundation came to my rescue, allowing me to take these projects and buy enough materials to send home specialized kits for each of my students to use. This year, we want to continue to build on this strong foundation and really emphasize solar energy sources while also authentically weaving in Indigenous ways of knowing into our lessons. I always say that space exploration is the spark for innovation for this generation. That being said, I fundamentally believe it is irresponsible for us to leave this planet and explore space without first developing technologies and ways of improving life here on Earth first. Lucky for us, Canada has so many exciting innovations and contributions to space exploration. This includes the construction of the Canadarm3 for the Lunar Gateway project, as well as making the Lunar Gateway completely automated. This is also more energy efficient and uses way less resources. We explored lunar rovers that are being deployed by Canada and the challenge given to us by the Canadian Space Agency about making sure that we are able to store solar energy for lunar nights. Thanks to Let's Talk Science, we were able to listen to a panel of Canadian space experts, including astronaut Jeremy Hansen. We are so excited to follow the CSA's space journey to the moon, including our role in the Artemis missions, specifically Artemis 2, where Canada will be the second country in the world to ever send an astronaut around the moon. Our next layer of inspiration came from exploring reconciliation in STEM through Indigenous ways of knowing. We started off with looking at some sun stories and then studied a variety of First Nations teachings about the environment, traditional ecological knowledge, Indigenous science, and reciprocal relationships with the land. We look forward to having the opportunity to explore more of these teachings with an elder in the future. We studied a variety of energy sources and concluded that solar and nuclear are the most viable for space exploration, but that we really can't do nuclear here in our classroom. We had Dr. Stephen Burgeons from the University of Alberta Future Energy Systems come and teach our class virtually about carbon capturing and solar carbon conversion, and it was exciting to have real technologies that are being developed here in Alberta as our inspiration. With our brainstorming done and our knowledge base rich, we were able to begin our projects. Students were challenged to use a variety of technologies to incorporate all 3 units of study: environmental chemistry, space exploration, and electricity into one glorious project. These technologies should utilize solar energy to design automated systems for energy efficiency, for space exploration, and the improvement of life here on Earth.
I'm green, look at this.
Nice.
Look. Okay. Straight. So I got one.
Yep.
And I got the other one.
Yep.
And I got.
Boom! Coding. Instead of using light bulbs and wires, students were taught how to build circuits using microbits and then convert them into circuit diagrams with a variety of components. They were able to compare series and parallel circuits as well as explore energy transformations throughout their circuits. They took their learning to the next level by applying these concepts to creating their energy-efficient automated systems for a variety of really interesting tasks, and then it was time to showcase them to their peers. In the beginning of the year, we planted tomato sphere seeds from Let's Talk Science and grew them all year long in our classroom. We were able to harvest the fruit and make some space salsa to celebrate our showcase day. It is a wonderful opportunity for students to display their learning and explain their work in a really authentic way. Some students chose to take on energy-efficient solar space robotics, including a lunar rover and a functional Canadarm prototype, using bird brain technologies, hummingbird bits. As always, many groups chose the classic automated watering systems, and a few took it even further, building a sealed system with foam designed to work in microgravity aboard the International Space Station or the Lunar Gateway. Other systems included solar-powered motion sensor lights, a greenhouse sensor that could radio information outside, and even a visual temperature alarm. And then there's this brilliant Martian innovation.
Pretty much red light melts ice. Contaminated water goes into a filter. Then the filtered water would go from here into the clean drinking water.
Students put together detailed infographics to share their learning.
Did they just do that?
Some even took up past projects from Let's Talk Science Living Space, where they use carbon sensors to build habitat or greenhouse monitoring systems. It was an incredible opportunity and I love the showcases, but don't take my word for it. Let's hear what they have to say.
System for Mars. So basically the energy transformations go from solar to electrical to chemical to electrical to mechanical.
So the system is solar powered, which is a way more efficient way of using energy. So it conserves energy and it's a renewable resource, which is great.
I am so proud of these little engineers and the work that they put into energy efficiency here in Alberta and off planet. To bring Guided by the Sun full circle, we set out on a self-guided field trip in the Edmonton River Valley for an Indigenous land-based learning day. We started at the new Tawatna footbridge and explored a variety of artwork by local First Nations and Métis artists, including David Garneau. Tawatna means valley in Cree, and the 400-plus panels are truly beautiful. We continued down the river valley to Inu, River Lot 11, Edmonton's Indigenous Art Park. Inu is a Cree word meaning I am of the earth, and the art park is situated on ancestral lands of the Indigenous people, including Métis landowner Joseph MacDonald. The last stretch of our journey brought us to Victoria Park, where we were greeted by my mother, who also brought an elder, Cookamelsie Paul, to the park. After a lunch break, students circulated through 4 stations, a fireside talk with Cookamelsie, field games, roasting marshmallows, and listening to the delightful Tanya Crook from the Métis Nation of Alberta.
I just brought some items that can emulate in an Amazon and Dollarama kind of way. Some of the Voyager games that were played to kind of compete with each other and keep their skills up as Voyagers, right?
Most of our students are non-Indigenous and really appreciated being able to learn from both Tanya and Cookamelsie. It brought a profound layer of environmental and historical learning to these young elders, as Elsie called them.
There's lots of teachings about the sweetgrass, and I was holding it like this and these thoughts started coming into my head, and environmental change. The sweetgrass is experiencing environmental change, but it didn't give up growing. It just continued growing and growing, That taught me a lesson from the elder, that they were taught about respecting and honoring water, because nobody can live without water. Plants and animals cannot live without water. This is very sacred. It keeps us alive. It keeps Mother Earth and even these trees. They're growing because of water.
This incredible learning opportunity would not have been possible without the generous funding of the Alberta Emerald Foundation for Protocol and Solar Energy Resources. We'd also like to thank those who have given their time or past funding to support this journey. Inside Education, University of Alberta Future Energy Systems, Let's Talk Science, the Canadian Space Agency, Black Gold Schools, and all of the teachers and guest speakers who have made this possible. When we are guided by the sun, searching for ways to find balance in nature, there is nothing we can't accomplish together.